Just line up behind her.
I wish they would
I would zero something like that.
get them all this way.
I don't know, I just look by it, it doesn't work.
That's his guilty feeling.
Stop it, Tom.
All right.
You say that, you still won't look.
Now, what we need. All right, good morning. Let's call the meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, December 14th. We're here for our regular scheduled meeting. If you would, we're going to call the roll, please, according to this. Somehow we got things in different order here. That's all right. We'll go by the list. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Here.
Mr. Pollock?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Call?
Here.
Mr. Keith?
Here.
I want to start this morning. I think, at least for me and probably everyone in this room, when you see something that's happened like in Kentucky and what happened to those folks there, it's almost impossible for me to watch that and not remember that morning that I walked down the streets of the city. And I want us to stand for a moment and offer just a moment of silence for those folks, if you don't mind. Amen. Thank you very much. Also, let's just stay standing. We're going to have a prayer. Let Brother Green.
Father, we thank you this day that we can come to you again and bring our petitions to you. Lord, we simply celebrate this time of year and what you've done for us and the way you reconcile us back to you through your Son. And Lord, we ask you, Lord, that you guide us, you be with us, bless this city as you have, and help us to make decisions, Lord, that ordained by you. We ask you to bless those that have been affected by disaster and storms, and Lord, help us to be your hands, your eyes, and your feet, and carry your message and show love in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Well, we have to talk about the rain. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Oh, I called the roll and then I called the roll. So see, I got corrected. Sit down. Thank you. I guess I need to read it. All right, we got that. Citizens' comments. Please come forward.
Ron Priest, Colorado Drive, Mayor, Council. I just want to thank everybody who was involved in the Christmas tree lighting, the golf cart parade, from Tracy, the fire department, the sheriff's department. It was super. It was unreal. And Jerry's display over there, it keeps putting up every year. It's getting high tech now. It's changing colors and doing kind of neat things.
Somebody else must do it for you.
All right. I'm going to ask him who did that. But anyway, it was
Thank
really
you.
cool.
I appreciate it. It was. Other citizens' comments? I've got one. I'm going to, someone asked me to read this during citizens' comments. So I'm going to do so. This is from the Special Events Committee. Their representative could not be here. Special Events would like to thank everyone who helped make the Turkey Trot a big success. Many thanks and appreciation to the following. Tommy Davis and his department for providing us with trash cans, portalettes, tables, and chairs. Bay County Sheriff's Department for directing traffic and keeping the runners safe. Sandy Walker and his department for all of the assistance that he provided. Mayor Kathy for leading the pledge. We had 146 runners. The event helped raise money for the fireworks. Thanks to all Special Events Committee. Again, they were unable to be here, but to all that participated, well said. Saw that little hand.
Might skip me. Yes, and on top of the special events, thanks to all the volunteers of special events for volunteering. That committee is a full committee of nothing but volunteers, so they give their time to ensure that Mexico Beach has events that continue to sustain themselves year round. On tree lighting, I'd like to thank the city, especially Pam, Peggy, Bill, James, and Ken. They helped put up the tree. Tracy Gaz, of course, for her expertise at the golf cart parade. Sandy and the fire department for collecting the toys that they'll be distributing out to local children in need. It was a wonderful success. We're very excited to continue that tradition. And my lovely elf decorator is super excited to go back to Sunset Park. So he's chomping at the bit, and we might have to start a GoFundMe page if I can afford his decorations that he's going to want to purchase. On another note, Gumbo Cook-Off has a date, February 19th. Mark your calendars. That's all I have on Gumbo. Don't ask me any questions about it besides the date. February 19th. And then also Tyndall Air Force Base. They have volunteer hours that the base people must do. And so 10 volunteers came out this past Sunday. They cleaned 2 miles of our beaches and collected over 20 pounds of trash. So very appreciative of Tyndall Air Force Base and their commitment to continuing to ensure that our shoreline stays pristine. So that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you. Citizens' comments? Okay. Moving on. Do we have a financial report?
No, sir. She has been out sick. She promises to have it up for next week.
Yeah, I checked on her. She said they were not in the storm, or any of the storm, but she had COVID.
She did. She's got follow-up appointments today, so she wasn't able to be here this morning.
Sandy, you're up.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Just to follow on from what we just heard in regards to the Christmas give out for the kids at Mexico Beach, we're going to do it on Sunday. The last number of years we actually did Christmas Day. We're going to try doing it this time on Sunday because that's what they did before the storm. They used to do it the last Sunday before Christmas, so we're going to try to do it this year. I still have the addresses of all the children from last year, but things change, people come, people go. If anybody knows of anybody that may or may not be on that list, please let me know. Or anybody that was upset they got missed last year and sent it to somebody. If I don't know where the house is, it's not easy for me to find it. So that's going to happen Sunday afternoon. I'm going to visit the houses over the next couple of days that we went to last year to make sure that they know about it and they're going to be there. And obviously if anybody else comes in, please let me know. We just completed the CPR and AED training that we talked about last meeting. There were 12 members of Public Works and Utility departments that did the training along with the 7 full-time members of the fire department. That is all now complete and done. So hopefully we never have to use it, but it's when everybody's out around the city and so on and so forth, we have that first response available to us now. On Monday, the whole fire department, there will still be people upstairs, but the whole full-time fire department are going to go to the Bay County Training Ground, and we're going to do basically self-bailout training. So we're going to throw ourselves out of buildings. The idea being that because we've gone up exponentially in height with all the buildings on the waterfront, and some of our ladders aren't long enough to get to the top story. Should our people be in that top story and they need to get out in an emergency, if everything goes wrong, we are now going to have these bailout packs that will enable us to break a window, get out that window and rappel down on that line. It'll be on our equipment 24/7 should that ever happen. That was paid for by the grant from the state that we used for upstairs, and the training is being provided by Bay County Fire Rescue and Bay County Emergency Services. So we thank them for that. And the only other thing is our side-by-side will be out of service. It's going to get completely stripped down, nuts and bolts, try to catch up on the rust that's caused from driving up and down the beach. Whilst that's happening, obviously the Bay County Sheriff's Office one will still be available to the city should it be needed. So if you do see it nuts and bolts out here, it's just because we're basically trying to slow down the rust process. Other than that, I have nothing else other than to wish everybody a happy Christmas, and hopefully we don't see you with anything other than a smile. And if you have any questions.
Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate it. Tell what you got.
Nice form that I provided, that was provided to me by my sergeant with all the particulars and stuff for the past 10 years of it. But, yeah, calls for service in November, 155 miles patrolled, 9,608, traffic stops 57, citations 10, warnings 50, arrest 4, and traffic citations 2. Christmas parade and everything went off without a hitch. It was good. Everybody enjoyed it and everything I heard. And also got to put a plug in for Friday night. We have the movie night down at the 100 Palms Park and everything. Started at 6. And everybody's invited to come down and enjoy the movie. And the refreshments is going to be provided for free. So, anybody got any questions?
Good. Awesome job at the parade. Trying to keep that group straight.
They say it's like herding cats.
That's okay. That was awesome. Thank you. All right. Who's up? Tommy, you up?
Building
I've lost one.
Bill.
I'm having a struggle here with my. Jan,
Yes, sir.
good morning.
Good morning. This is my first time to address y'all. Nothing so certain in life has changed, so we're here. I gave everybody a copy of what was the actual data that got crunched. Doesn't look like it was too busy of a month, 6 single families. My prime directive, I don't know if y'all have been briefed. The biggest reason I'm here is trying to, right now, is take care of our FEMA audits from both the federal and the state level. And that's going pretty well. It's actually, I've been through several CAVS audits before, and y'all did pretty good with the list that I had, considering the magnitude of the storm, and a lot of fresh people, in the building departments, bringing people in from outside, whatever. It really, your two principal people, the EPCI, but Gina and what's our inspector's name? Willie. I think they really need some kudos, because when you take and gather into perspective what happened, and they were new in this game, we did pretty good. And the cleanup just of the few things that were spotted with the state is going pretty well. I'm about to wrap that up. You have any questions?
No, your report is comprehensive.
I like the report.
So he's finalizing the information on the floodplain and all the stuff that FEMA required. The deadline was like December 19th.
Yeah, that's for the state level FEMA, but that was going really well. I've got a couple of things that I'm still waiting on some data. I think we're going to come out of it pretty clean. When you consider everything, it was really a one-page list was pretty minor as far as the building stuff. So
we want to stay in their good graces, so he's done a great job.
One thing that I think everyone here knew, that when Gina got involved, the process that we followed was just sort of spot on. You could tell that our residents, our citizens, the people that were dealing with the building department, and that's why certainly nothing against you, but we hate to see her leave. And I think that the meeting when she announced that, it was
and
obvious.
I think you lost something there.
That's right. So,
But we're in total agreement.
we welcome you in, but we all knew that the importance of that record keeping.
Yes, it's extremely important. And I'll make a plug for EPCI, even though I'm just a little part-time guy that may not be there for 6 months, whatever. They were, as a private company,
able to gather in resources very effectively. That if it was, you know, a public building department, it would have been extremely difficult.
We understand. Well, thank you. We look forward to working with you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Kathy?
Good morning.
Morning, morning.
Long time since I've seen you all. Okay, so first thing we have is on 4th Street, the RV that was been parked down there, it has now been removed, so that's all clear. And 1st Street, 61 1st Street, I went over and saw his house last week, and he's done a fantastic job. He's cleaned it all up, the front, the back. He's got it all graded. He's going to reseed back there, and it just, he's done a 360. Now he's working back on the inside, and he told me he could probably have the container removed by March, because all of his furniture is being stored in there now. So I got to give him credit. He did a really good job. The 30.
Give you credit.
Sir?
Give you credit.
Thank you.
That's right.
Amen.
The 37th Street condo that everybody's been talking about, that file has been sent to Jennifer. So she's going to get it ready for special master. Along with the fifth wheel that's sitting down on 3rd Street. Jennifer's also received all that information. And the food truck that we had sitting down there next to the taco stand, that has now been removed. That's all gone. And a letter's been sent to the Southern Stingray, that's 2700 Highway 98. They got that metal building up front, and then the building in the back of it is actually okay. We sent them a letter that we need to have that removed, because it's an eyesore. Any questions?
Doing good.
Good job, both of you.
She's doing great.
Well, we're sisters. We're sisters. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Tommy?
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Kimberly hit on one of the things that we've accomplished the last couple of weeks, and that's Christmas tree. We got it up, got it decorated. I want to say thank you to all my staff that's done that. Ken is my right-hand guy. He's not a Christmas tree guy, but he oversaw that and got all that done for us. And I think Kimberly thought he was going to die before he got it up, but we did. So anyway, I appreciate my staff doing that.
Did you medicate him before you seen him down there to work with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to take a minute and say we have a couple of guys on the road department that are out right now. Andy Matinchek and Kenny Porter. Andy has cancer. I want, if everybody would, keep these guys in your prayers. Andy's going through a hard time right now, and he is a great employee. We missed both of these guys. Tim had back surgery about 2 weeks ago. So if y'all would, right here at Christmas time, let's keep them in our prayers. Also, as far as what we've been doing, we're still cutting. If you notice down 15th Street, 386, we're going in cutting all the ditches now, getting all that cleaned up kind of in our downtime. So stuff that we, just couldn't get caught up in the summertime. We just had so much going on. We're getting those. We got both of the catwalks down at the boat ramp repaired. They were both in kind of getting a little shaky when you walked out on them. Troy and Nick took care of those. They've both been repaired and back in good, stable shape. Also, DOT has started clearing the sand on the right-of-ways. If you notice down here around from Two Cans back towards the club, they cut all that down, kind of took the sand on the other side of the street, filled in the rough places. They're going to get started on the far end of town from 386 back up to around 5th Street. We still got some build up on the side of the road. They're working on that for us also. Sanitation department, I do want to let everybody know this is going to be the trash pickup schedule for Christmas week and New Year's week. Christmas week we'll pick up Monday and Tuesday as we normally do. Then we'll pick up Wednesday and Thursday. So Friday's route will be picked up on Thursday. Thursday's route picked up on Wednesday. So if you were on the first two won't change, Monday and Tuesday route will be the same. We're just gonna pick up, Friday's route on Thursday and Thursday's route on Wednesday. And that'll be for both weeks, Christmas week and New Year's week. That way that'll give the sanitation guys, a day off, for the holidays also. Trash pickup for the month of December, so far this month, we picked up 52,520 pounds of trash. So a lot of trash right now, but that's expected with it being holidays. Other than that, the city's just doing what we normally do. That's maintained throughout the city. Anybody got any questions?
Don, thanks.
Thank you.
And kudos to your crew. Glenn?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'll tell you, Jermaine Larry has passed his level 1 distribution test. Still got some other people that are studying. Matter of fact, Garrett has ordered his water course, and we're working with DEP in hopes that maybe they will cut us some slack as far as giving these guys some time for the work they do. Got a lot going on, waiting on a response from FEMA on reimbursement for meter replacement. We still got about 225 meters need to be replaced on the south side. We're going to have to do that. They haven't told us no. Spoke with Angelia Butler as part of the Department of Environmental Protection. She advised me that the revised consent order would be ready in 2 to 3 weeks. They would send it to us for our review. We can enter discussion with them and try to find something that's workable, that's doable for us. We've been very receptive and good to work with. We're making some progress in getting the customer to respond to backflow testing and installation of backflow where there is none or the testing is out of date. At some point, we will have to address a plan for customers that are non-compliant. A lot of options there, and I understand from what I'm talking with the EP, they're going to be willing to work with us as long as we have a plan and as long as we show progress. One of the things that we think about could be an option is maybe we as the city could hire an outside contractor to come in and do the work and then turn around and bill the customer. But that will be your call. Just something you need to think about. It's not a matter if we're going to be compliant, we have to be. I have one quote from a local plumber. And that's about all I have. Any of you have any questions?
No, sir. Everybody good?
How often do they have to be inspected, Mr. Clinton?
Residential, every 2 years, commercial every year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Dave?
Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
We are finishing up the plans for the 15th Street bridge repairs. Hopefully we'll have that advertisement bid here to the city within next week. Under the Palms Park, we're waiting on our survey crew to go out and pick up the survey. Once we get that, we can start.
That was here this morning.
They're there tomorrow? That's good. So, should be able to start that pretty soon and get the bathroom rebuilt and underway. And other than that, just working with Doug on Parker Park, trying to figure out what the city needs to, or wants to rebuild back, and various other things.
Okay. Questions for Dewberry on projects? Anybody?
You got one?
They are coming though. They both ends of the marine law, so I see yes.
Well, no, that's okay. The obstructions they were trying to get around for the pilots at the Town Parkway, they got all but one out, and I think they're working on getting the last one out now. And I was out there this morning, and they were moving some more form boards and stuff out that way this morning. So.
I know they stopped that, and then they do tell me the reason back.
All right. Well, we thank you. Ryan? Good morning.
Morning, guys.
from the water treatment plant repairs from way back by the end of this week. So that'll be good. Finally kind of closing the loop on the final payment on that. We've received a previous payment on it, but this will be the last one for a big chunk. So it'll be good. We had questions come in. We had the bid out for the RFP out, for the dredge machine, pumping it. Those will be, we addressed some questions, and those will be open next Monday. So we'll know where we stand on that by next week, early next week. Of course, you guys probably have noticed we're on phase 2 dredge coordination still going on. You've probably seen they're getting spoil sites set up. We had to go through, get all the easements signed from the property owners and all that, and they're in construction of those sites now, so it's moving forward. We have, I think Glenn mentioned this, we had to submit a time extension for the water meters project. No questions really from FEMA on the scope, that's eligible scope to do that, but we just kind of ran out of time on the original time frame that they gave us to do that. So we've got that submitted and we're waiting to hear back from them to get approval. I don't see any issues on that. I'm sure we'll get it. It's just one of those bureaucratic things we got to get the checkbox for. Don't want to lose track of this in the middle of the municipal complex. We did finally, I think, hear some positive things come out of FEMA on the municipal complex project. We have a meeting set for tomorrow where they said they're actually going to give us information on our response, essentially, on our previous response. So that took some pushing on our end to get them to that. I've also heard from back end that they've had some turnover on their staff and got some new leadership in, which I think could potentially bode well for us on that. I don't want to, I'll knock on wood, but I'm hoping we're going to get some sort of positive movement on that this week. So,
what time does that meeting?
That meeting's at 1 Central. Tomorrow, yeah. So yeah, we can, and of course, Doug, I'm sure can update you guys once we hear back on that, but we'll be on that, and if you want to jump on it, it'd be great. Also, just some of the non-FEMA related stuff, we did get our programmatic and financial reports for the two NIFWIF grants we have submitted and completed ahead of time, so I don't see any issues going forward on that, but the projects, we have to do an annual report basically for them at the end of each year. FDP, we have a bank stabilization revegetation grant. We got all the kind of pre-construction reports submitted and approved, so that project's ready to move forward. That's doing over on 8th Street now, some plantings and revegetation along there. So I think Tommy's going to have that up on there and start getting the work going on that, which will be cool. And then lastly, we're working with FLDEO to finalize the CBG DR beach renourishment project. So they've been reaching out to us and it's been helpful in trying to help us answer any questions on that. So yeah, that's where that one stands. Hopefully before it's too long. They said within the next month, but I imagine it's probably going to be a little longer than that with the holidays before they actually really get back to us on it. Other than that, that's all I got. Any questions or anything?
The dredging, where do you know where they're going to start and go to? Or
I don't remember offhand. I can reach out to them though and get you an answer for sure.
I think they were doing the boat slips first.
I asked them to start with the city docks in case we had to move boats out.
Yeah, the city ones. Sorry, yeah. I thought you'd have other private ones. I was like, I don't think we'll start. Yeah, that's probably makes sense.
I see some equipment that's been moved down on that 88 acres behind. Is that the berm?
Spoil site number 2.
Spoil site number 2?
Yeah. I spoke to Mr. Fry this morning, and they're starting to work down there just the same. So I think they shoot down that dirt road behind them.
Yeah.
And he said that's moving
I
forward.
saw them unload some stuff.
Yep. To be
I figured that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what they're on right now. It's spoil site construction.
And I don't believe until January that you'll start seeing the actual dredging going on. That's just my best guess with the holidays and finishing the other spoil site setups and stuff and the hoses that they're running, but it should be right after the first of the year.
Yeah, they've said that they're going to have, I think they've said that they're going to have the spoil sites finished up this week. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. Always a little bit of give and take on that, but they're hoping to get it done pretty quick here.
Okay, thank you.
What about the pier? Are we just in a holding pattern?
No, we're moving on design, and Dave has, this week, he's gonna try, he told us that he's trying to get all the permitting stuff into FDP, so obviously, again, the permitting and environmental side of this is a big process to go through, but he's saying he's working really hard and trying to get that in before the holidays, and then there'll be a back and forth with them on making sure they have the permits and all, so still moving, but I mean, we're gonna be a couple months out before we get to any talk of construction or anything.
He had wishful thinking deadline, like we get the permits, everything completed by summer of '22. So that's really good news.
And he said he's still on his original schedule that we was that in October. I think that he can hear.
So completion by the summer of 22?
For permitting.
Oh, for permitting.
Yeah, that's just permanent. It's a 12-month
I thought I
process.
heard construction.
I think that's when they're going to aim towards starting it, but it's a year-long construction process. And
So at the end of 23, we should have a pier, everything.
I would feel better giving them a little more time because I'm sure that something will happen with the permit.
Okay, the first month of 24.
That makes me feel a little safer.
Ryan, thank you. Other questions? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
Left off, our emergency generator is still down. Wise came over and partly brought, and they got in touch with Generac and there's a controller. Sorry, I double it.
That's all right.
I just wanted you to know it's still down. We're looking for the controller to come in with scheduled repairs ASAP.
Staff did work on a way where we can go direct feed from Bay County, so we shouldn't have any issues with water and running out of pressure for the water anymore. So they uncovered all those valves and they did a great job. They know how to re-rack the system if there's an issue with the electric as well as the water. So we're making do while we're waiting on that to get finalized. So they've been not just sitting on their hands is all I want to say.
Thomas Crew, especially Troy, has been a tremendous asset to us helping us, and I appreciate that, Tommy and Troy.
All right. Ryan, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, moving to our consent agenda. We have minutes, and we have a resolution. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda as amended? And one of the sets of minutes were amended.
Make a motion, we accept the consent agenda.
As amended.
As amended.
Thank you.
Second.
That's a motion and a second. Any questions? Let the record reflect that motion carries 5-0. Thank you. All right. Moving to our regular agenda. First is ordinance 776, which is a second reading. I would ask that prior to the motion and a vote, I would like to simply say that I'm going to appeal to this council to give strong consideration to passing on reading this ordinance. I think if we look at what has happened with our city, people that are in place, our administrator, our code enforcement people, that if we just step back and let them do what they're paid to do, that we can provide them with the necessary tools to manage our city. This ordinance is a handcuff, it's a handicap to them to be able to perform at a level that we expect. And I just would like to think that the process that's been in place for 30 years, meaning that we have a city administrator and a staff that can manage us, and if they will just, if we would allow them to come to us when they have issues, that's the way the process should work. We shouldn't hand them something and expect them to be efficient and effective with it like this ordinance is going to require. And the other thing I want to say, if the justification for this ordinance is that this city has knowingly allowed this to take place, that is simply an incorrect statement. We've had a lot of balls in there in the last 3 years, and we've caught many of them, and we've handled them. Have some gone unnoticed or just simply not being taken care of? Absolutely yes. But to our credit as a council and to our citizens, we have done a remarkable job. And I think to somehow justify that we as a city have knowingly let this happen, and then therefore we need to just continue and let those that made those mistakes, let that happen for the sake of saying that we didn't manage it, is simply not a true statement. So, in short, this is not effective and efficient government, and it's a bad ordinance. All right, on the agenda is the second reading of Ordinance 776. Is there any discussion, comments, or motions?
And that, so can I just ask a question? We went over the resolution about Monovix, so we just went to the next one, right?
That was in the consent agenda.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I totally agree with what you said. I think that that's something that this city can do. I think it'll also save us a little bit of I can't see changing something that's been in effect for years, that no city or municipality or county with a road or city with a road or anything ever gives up this right, and for us to do it, I think it certainly opens the door for all kinds of things, because if you can do away with something as common sense and as logical as this is to protect, then there's no stopping what could happen and come out of this. So I totally agree with you. Now, if we would have to have a motion and a second and a vote.
That's what it is. This is the second reading.
Okay.
If there is if we're going to move forward, then that's what is on the agenda.
Well, I make a motion that we do not read the ordinance, and we allow our staff and city administrator and people who are fully capable of handling this situation to handle it without passing this ordinance and changing what's been in effect for the number of years it's been in effect. Especially since we have our legal counsel who has said not to do it, and our zoning and board has said not to do it, and there's no good reason to do it when you go against those kinds of suggestions and recommendations. That's what we hire legal counsel for, to give us recommendations based on his experience and understanding of how things can happen in law. So I make a motion that we do not read it and allow our staff to handle this.
Well, for Robert's Rules of Order, it would die if there is no motion to read. It's for a second reading. I mean, I'll entertain your motion, but it's technically, if there is no, I mean, we're going to see. If there is no motion second, then in essence, it dies.
So that I don't need to make a motion.
Well, I think it would be more appropriate to see, given the history of this ordinance, to simply let it play itself out.
Okay. All right.
That's what, that would be my recommendation. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so again, the floor is open for further discussion.
I have a question.
Yes.
Anyone who is in violation of being in the right of way, would then the city go house by house and remove whatever is there? We had talked about that before it was brought up.
It was brought up.
I would like to have that clarified.
Well, I can speak for me. If you just go back to the meeting when this whole issue came up, the only reason it came up was that the extreme measures that a few property owners had taken when they blocked the entire width of their property, and they did it within 6, 8, 10 inches of the road with things like boulders, pilings, posts, and they didn't, I don't think any of this is being discussed, Sharon, nor was it discussed for somebody that put 2 posts and a rope across their driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it would be the same as what's happened after the storm when dogs were on the beach. We didn't stop them all, but we brought it up and said, hey, we need to take care of that. I think this administration would have to, what I would say, logically apply the code. I don't picture us having the time to take a palm tree that's been there for 30 years and go take it out of that. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But if there are extreme, and that's what's happened since the storm, all of this is after the storm. Extreme measures were taken to put this city at risk by putting things out by the edge of the road. For me, if we didn't have this and all we had was an obstruction code like it's written now, I would think that our administrator would look at doing the rational, common sense thing. And if some of them needed to be removed, then he would have to look at that and wait. But to go down the street and say, here's an azalea bush, or I don't see that being what the issue was to start with. Well, that may be a little long-winded, but that's the way the discussion came about. It only was raised because of those particular properties that were just obviously done after the storm, not approved, and we simply just had too much going on to take care of it.
One note before you make any motions or further discussion. The changes requested last meeting by the mayor, they're all in whereas clauses, not in the part that would change land development code. Those are included now, so there's some small differences compared to last meeting. But again, the portion that affects what the land development code would say, that's all the same.
On my side, staff would just move forward as normal if it did die on the table, and then go forward and address things as needed. It wouldn't be an immediate wipe them all out type of thing if that's what the question was. It's just the ones that were
we talked about
obstructions, and if there was some major issue, we would deal with it, just like you guys have dealt with it for 30 years. But I believe I could work through some of those with you guys from my side, and you guys wouldn't have to get involved with it if that's how it ended up here today. Either way, we're here to take care of your business for you.
Does that help?
It does help out, but that was what was really on my mind was, okay, now the city is gonna have to go out and remove everybody that is in violation of the right of way. And they wouldn't have time to do the real job.
I totally agree.
I
totally agree. And that's why I refer to those, for me, when I came to that meeting and what Darrell brought up at that initial meeting, those discussions were aimed at all of a sudden those extreme measures that certain property owners took that we'd never seen here before. Those trees or bushes or mailbox or whatever was out there for 30 years, there was never a discussion in this city about a right-of-way obstruction because there weren't any to the extreme that we were seeing. That's what happened. That's what said, hey, folks, look at what's happened here. And I think we sort of threw a cast net as if we're supposed to fix every one of them. I never thought that. I never thought that. And I really do feel that if the administrator, I don't know of one that we've had, Doug has done a remarkable job in a short time of deciding what, he is focused on things that help us make a difference and keep us out of, I hate to use the word trouble, but keep the city functional and efficient and effective. One thing he's done in this short period of time is he has identified problems and we've addressed them. And look at, what Kathy just reported on is remarkable. But it just shows that if you do it that way, you work with the citizens. I would have to say, if you went to one of those people and said, look, folks, what you've done here, we can't tolerate this. This is out. I would think they'd have to agree with that. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't think he's going to go to a guy that's had a palm tree there 25 years and say, hey, we're going to pull that up tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't think that.
So then the property owner would have to remove it, or would the city remove it, or what?
Well, it's in our right of way. I think that would be where our administrator would say, look, this is a violation. It's an extreme violation. I'm speaking for how Al feels. I'm not saying this is how it would go. But I would just think we'd have to say, identify those properties that have created an issue that was never here before the storm. And contrary to what anyone says, the extreme measures that exist today did not exist pre-storm. They simply didn't. Were those azalea bushes and palm trees there? Most likely. But that doesn't cause a problem. Concreted in poles and pilings 8 inches from the edge of the asphalt that's an issue. So I would have to, for me, I would say, Mr. Administrator, here's the rules. And if he sees something just like he does now, let him apply it. That's his job.
You ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other discussion? Floor is open for a motion or discussion.
Make a motion to read ordinance 776 by title only.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
No.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Call,
No.
Mr. Key.
No.
Okay, Order 776 fails. We will move on to ordinance 777, which is the second reading of a purchasing policy. The ordinance, as we discussed at the last meeting, made some what we consider to be necessary changes in our policy, and unless there is need for additional questions or comments concerning ordinance 777, Chair will recommend or entertain further discussion or motion. Maybe for the record, Doug, do you think you would like to, highlight it, or is there any reason for that?
No. I make a motion to read ordinance 776. Title only.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Please read.
Ordinance 777. An ordinance ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, amending the city's purchasing procedures, increasing the threshold for formal bidding, clarifying and increasing the city administrator's spending authority, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
Is there a motion to adopt?
I make a motion we adopt ordinance 777.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Call?
Yes.
Mr. Key?
Yes.
Moving to number 3 is ordinance 778, which is the RV revision, the first reading. I think, Nick, for no other purpose than the record being just the first reading, it is clear what has been taken out, but any or Doug, maybe just whoever, just give a little explanation of what we're doing here.
I'll start, Nick, if I miss something, please.
Sounds good.
So within this ordinance, we decided that we had a little bit of misunderstanding between the intent and what was actually in the ordinance stated, from the intent of the council to allow folks that were rebuilding after the storm to put a RV on their property while they're putting nails in boards as the house was going up, and that allowed it for 18 months. We daily process, we have a new one sneak in every day with an RV on a property that we catch, whether they're attaching to our sewer. We've had some cut off the pipes and put them on themselves, and it's been a nightmare for us to keep up with whether they're coming in and coming out. The storm has significantly passed the 3 years since the storm plus, and the folks that are buying these lots now are kind of moving in and camping while they're watching their house go up, and we're trying to avoid that going forward, which some other agencies like Gulf County's had a big problem with the RVs and areas that they're designated to have them and time frames where they can keep them and live in them. So this ordinance addresses that. It does not allow anything other than if you're building a commercial property to have one of those office trailers on it that you can work out of for while you're building a commercial property. The RVs would be allowed to continue to be stored by residents if they own a house there. They can keep it on the lot and plug it in and keep it running, but there would be no overnight staying in that based on this ordinance as it's written. This is first reading.
Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Lisa Logan, 402 Maryland. If you do this at this moment, you're going to catch people like me who are still in the process of working to repair our homes. I am working with Rebuild Florida, which is a state project to help people who had damage by the storm. And this was published on Friday morning. The agenda was published. And I saw this, and also on Friday morning, I received my award letter from Rebuild Florida. They want to help me. We're not sure what that's going to entail yet, because they wanted to give me a brand new mobile home, which I had to turn down because the city does not allow mobile homes now on private property. So they're not sure what they're going to do. And if you put this in with the way that this program has been dragging on, because I've been waiting 6 months to get my award letter. And if it continues to be a slow process, you're going to knock me out of being able to put a camper on my property while my house is being rehabbed. So I certainly don't want to be caught without being able to avail myself of this like so many other people have. So I'm asking you to give some consideration here for those like me who are in the process, who need that camper to repair from storm damage, because it's going to be extremely unfortunate if I fall through the cracks because of this. So you need to either make some considerations for people like me who are dealing with a very slow state process, or delay this a few months. I can't tell you how long it's gonna take them to come up with a solution for me, because it's taken 6 months just to get the award letter. So let's not drop people like me. I don't know how many people are still in the process, but you're gonna make it a real problem if you don't try and figure this out. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rock.
Go ahead, Rock. Come up.
Rock Creek's Colorado Drive. Just two things here on the ordinance. It's kind of like apples and oranges. If you live here, and this is where you live full time, you're in a disaster. I can see RVs being here living while you're building your house. If you don't live here, and you got a vacation home or rental property, why do you even need to do that to start with? So I mean, that's where the exception should be taken. And if you do this ordinance, you might want to add something into it, if it's approved, that the RVs have to be licensed and registered and maintained in a condition for what their intent is. You already have a couple of hard side tents that I call them, they don't move. And they'll sit here forever. If you just don't put that in there, and all these ones that showed up are going to sit there and they're going to become derelicts in 3 years from now. You're going to be dealing with that. You can already see half the ones parked around. They don't have license plates on them, flat tires, and that. It's not an intended purpose for what they were made for. Just like your cars are supposed to have license plates on them and everything else. Just take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
One clarification might be helpful. There are a variety of circumstances with RVs that have been discussed over the last couple of years, a variety of reasons. Doug did a good job summarizing the ordinance, but the very specific thing that this changes, it deletes the rule that would allow new permits for people to acquire when they're starting new construction, when they have permits and they're going vertical, they're really doing construction. As far as people that have had an RV on their property for a while already for various reasons, the rules remain the same for them. This is really a going forward change for new construction. And that there may be a couple people that slip through the cracks, but in general, I think we're close to 3 years, 2 months after the storm. Probably shouldn't be many that actually were in a situation where they are truly rebuilding something from before that haven't started. Because if they've already started, they've already been permitted to have the RV. I think everyone's intent is to allow them to finish out the process under the old rule, the current rule, the 18-month rule.
I was a builder for quite a while, and I knew the way that I ran my business. I had a lot of meetings with the homeowners. The homeowners, as the process is going on, a lot of people are not visual, so to look at a set of plans and to approve a set of plans and let me go with it as a builder, they would come out and they go, this is not right. And I go, well, it's according to the plan. Do you want to change it? And there's a lot of changes that go on through it. I'm going to try to make this short. I see the need for, even if they were not here during the storm and had damage, if they're building, I personally think that they need perhaps not as long a time, or perhaps some other kind of regulation. I know that this is a nightmare to kind of keep up with. I know that. But perhaps we can find a way to streamline how they do it and what's available to be done. These people should be allowed to have a camper there, especially during the process where it's actually going. And most houses get built really in 6 to 8 months.
I'm sorry, mine is taking much longer than that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Apologize.
Well,
I wish. I
just
really
don't say your builder's name. So anyhow, but I think that all people, we're trying to rebuild our city. We want those people to come in. and for us not to allow them to come and stay on a piece of property that they have bought, that they are paying taxes on, while the construction is going on, so that they can be there to look at issues with the builder, to discuss things with the builder, I think is wrong for us not to allow that. How we do it, I haven't, because to me, it was not an issue until all of a sudden we've got an ordinance to look at. And for me, a year and a half is a good length of time. I think, yes, we got issues with how to police it and take care of it. And I don't want to be taken advantage of, and there are a lot of people that tried to do it and did. So there's my comment. Yes, sir.
Okay, when we first started after Michael, our words was for the people whose houses were destroyed, needed a place to stay. And we worked with them to do that. I was part of it. A lot of y'all were. I don't think we are going to be an RV park for people that want to come in and buy a piece of property now, not one that's already owned it or whatever. Put an RV on there, take a year and a half or whatever to build. I don't want to be that place. I think that these people that, like Lisa over there, that live here, that have still got problems or whatever, I want to work with them. But I don't want to give somebody the opportunity to buy a lot, come in and put the RV on there, and then take a year and a half, 2 years to build. I just don't think we need to do that. But I do still think we need to work with people that have problems now. Nobody ever thought the insurance would take as long on some of these people, what they're having to do or whatever. These are people we need to work with, not people that just want to come in and put the RV on, have a place to come for a year or two, and maybe get the place built.
Anybody else? My comments are ditto to what Bobby said.
Mine.
I like Bobby. It's been 3 years.
Time to move on.
And if we change it, or if we leave it like it is, how long is it gonna last? Kathy's got enough to do beside. And then they move me on the weekends and move them out. I mean, people's taking advantage of me, and I really had enough of it. And I will do whatever we got to do. Stop.
Is that a motion to read the
Yes.
title on?
And with that motion, assume that the current language under this ordinance is appropriate. You're not asking for changes for some sort of more flexibility. The current language is good.
Well, I think I sort of put words about it, but you were leading toward saying that you're making a motion to read the title on.
Yes, I sure do.
I'll second.
Motion second, any further discussion? Ms. Tammy, please read.
Ordinance 778, an ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, amending section 150.04 of the City Code regarding use and storage of recreational vehicles to eliminate occupation of recreational vehicles during construction of residences, providing for severability, codification, and an immediate effective date.
Thank you. That would put that on our January meeting. Thank you. All right, we also have the first reading of ordinance 779, which is an amendment to the food truck ordinance. Nick or Doug, whoever wants to.
I'll start.
We have it and we read it, but just maybe paraphrase it for those that might not have.
I'll start with the movement, sir, and then I'll let Nick follow up on a few things. So we needed to establish In history, you guys had extended a rule that's set to expire this coming in 22. We had a problem come up where people had their permits occupational license that they needed to renew back in October. So that's what sparked this conversation, was they could only be approved until April. So we had to bring the food truck ordinance back to make something more permanent going forward, to allow some of these food trucks that are actually business that are operating, that are not like on the side of the road and things like that, to give a little more structure. So we did a little research, specifically with Callaway, the city of Callaway, and looked at their ordinance on food trucks and how they offer. They had a lot of really good things in there related to setbacks and the type of food truck and the licensure that the food truck owner had to maintain and put up in the window, so that we didn't just get some fly-by-night person coming through that doesn't follow any health and safety standards. It also allows us to use them on city parks, city-owned lands. Like we have music in the park, park or something. We could have food trucks, and they could come in as long as they would go away immediately after they were done serving. So this establishes those rules, and it gives us a little bit of teeth as a municipality towards those people that are operating food trucks within our limits. So the rules are listed out. We could have got way more in depth, but we didn't think it was necessary. We've kind of laid the framework to allow us to police it appropriately with law enforcement as well as code enforcement related to those vehicles. So if there's anything that I skipped.
Well, one important note to add, the restrictions, the details, they're all laid out there for you to review, and if you want changes to those, we can make those changes. We haven't kind of made the first effort to this, but the important point is it's a zoning category oriented rule. So the way this is set up, it would allow food trucks, assuming the property owner's permission, in locations that are, it's worded a little differently, but commercial locations, so general commercial, tourist commercial, and then also in the tourist mixed use category, since that is a category that allows a fair amount of commercial as well. If that is too broad, let us know. If that sounds good, that's how this is set up.
One question I had in number 2, it says that the community scale commercial pursuant to the zoning district tables provided by section 2.02 of this code. Now, was that to be attached, or is that 2.02 of the LDR?
Of the LDR.
Of the LDR.
And that language, that's really targeting the tourist mixed use category. That's a type of commercial that's allowed in that category. Currently, that's the only category that allows that type of commercial. An alternative, if it's better for the council, we could go amend the tables and say food trucks allowed.
No, if it's part of it, when it says of this code, I wasn't sure
Yes.
if that was some attachment to this, or if it's just part of the LDR. I got you. The LDR is very specific to me.
The only other thing maybe you could add is about the mandate coming down from the state about allowing food trucks, and that's
Right.
another reason why we need to handle this sooner than later.
So there was a state law that passed about a year ago that said two main things. That the city can't require an advanced permit or license. So you set up the rules, they comply, they're allowed to operate. If they're not complying, you shut down. It's not an advanced approval. And the other thing that may be more important for today is the city or county is not allowed to prohibit food trucks. So you have to have some areas designated where they're allowed. And the reason the city has not really had an issue with this so far is we have a temporary ordinance that allows food trucks in some locations, but that ordinance is going to expire this spring. So we're trying to figure out what our long-term approach is.
And this will be compliant with all of that. So.
So if you allow, but yet the owner of the property doesn't give them permission, because that's a prerequisite according to this ordinance.
Yes, sir.
We've allowed them, it's just that the property owner won't.
Well, what it is we haven't required ahead of time that they come in and fill out a form and an application and show us the paperwork. But if they're on the property and they don't have permission, the city can have money.
Okay.
Through code enforcement and law enforcement.
Right.
This can be
Well, the property owner can have money too. Right.
All right. Did I see you? Yes, Rob. I thought come.
I've got a question. I read the ordinance like 3 times, and there's a piece in there that has food trucks and it has trailers, 72 hours, and they have to be moved from property and hidden from view. How would Killer Seafood comply with that?
That is a rule that's currently already in the code. We have a section of the code that prohibited food trailers, which were not really the truck so much. It's something that's sort of halfway a building, fixed in place. The 72-hour rule had to do with special event, festival kind of situations. So there's no real change to that rule. The reason why that part of the section is included in here is now that we have with this ordinance, a good definition of food truck. I wanted to just reference food truck rather than the old language that wasn't very clear what we're getting at.
I'm just curious, I mean, it's in there. It says 72 hours, they have to be moved and hidden from view. So how does that work?
Where is that?
I looked the ordinance, but it's in there.
Oh, you're saying it's in this ordinance?
Yeah, it's in the one you're reading right now.
Yeah, it's currently in your land development code, so it's in this because there's a definition.
Page 2, number.
Oh, I do see it. Yes, I do.
Okay, that was my question on this.
Right, and that's a rule for festival or special.
Oh, it's for a special event.
Just for special events?
Yeah, it says it's part of a festival or special event non-prohibited by the city. So it's you know.
We give them ample time to
They
set
can't
up.
show up for the gumbo festival and stay there 2 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And the city has a detailed permit system by special.
For that, yeah.
I guess even with these changes, the idea would be somebody could still apply to have a food truck or special event if they're involved in one category, and then the city could either approve or deny it.
Right.
It's only a 3-day event. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else? Is there a motion to read by title only? Ordinance 779.
I make a motion, we read ordinance 779 by title only.
Have a motion second. Please read.
Ordinance 779, an ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach amending the Land Development Code to allow food trucks in certain zoning districts and providing associated limitations, repealing ordinances in conflict to the extent of that conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Please add that one to our next regular meeting. Next is Resolution 2160. This is a proposal for 8th Street bathroom reconstruction of the 8th Street bathroom facilities.
I have David here if you need to ask any additional questions. We did our due diligence working with Ryan and Atkins, as well as the legal on our side, to ensure that those bathrooms were not included pre-storm in the lease for Toucans. The lease was rewritten in just before the storm, and it's definitely 100% not. They did not. I verified from the new owners of Toucans that they didn't receive it. No money was received to repair those bathrooms from them. So we verified that we're in the clear going forward. So we'd like to make a Dewberry start the process going so we can have some public restrooms on the beach.
This drawing, not drawing, but photograph, is that red thing, is that the bathroom? Is that the proposed? Is that what that is? Or what does that show us?
That's the lease area.
That's what they?
That's the area that was under the lease agreement.
What are we proposing to put in this? Are we?
The restroom is going to be about midway through the parking lot.
Okay. Where that loop is?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's an
That's
old.
what it was. That's what it was before. That's what I just wasn't sure what that red thing is. Okay.
This is part of our due diligence to ensure that we didn't
Okay.
double dip or anything.
Okay. Let's see. Is there a discussion or motion to read resolution 2160 by title only?
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Okay, so this bathroom on the water, on the beach, will it have to be raised up high?
No, it's currently it's sitting at elevation 18, which is what code would require it to be at, so it won't be elevated past the parking lot now.
It's not similar to the Canal Parkway bathroom.
Right.
It does elevate a little bit, but not like. This is a permanent.
Yeah, this is a permanent now, Kimberly. This isn't a trailer like you're gonna see down at Canal Park.
Right, just the proximity of everything, I'm just asking.
It's just the elevation of that land.
It's
different
higher.
than the.
Okay, that's great.
All right. Is there a motion or discussion?
I make a motion, if no discussion, that we read resolution 2160 by title only.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please read.
Resolution 21-60, a resolution of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, approving a proposal with Dewberry Engineering LLC for professional services associated with the reconstruction of the restroom building at the beach parking lot near 8th Street in the amount of $29,384.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve resolution 21-60.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Call?
Yes.
Mr. Key?
Yes.
Brian, will this project now go on part of our FEMA list?
I can add it on there.
Just for tracking, if nothing else for me.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, probably for the next little bit, we'll look to David just to see how the plans are progressing, but I can add it to my list before. You're just asking for an update, basically?
Yeah, just nothing
Yeah.
more than, is this money been obligated?
Yeah.
They've given us?
This has been obligated already.
Oh, well then no.
Okay.
I've got it on our
That's what I was saying. I think it'll be David giving you updates on like.
Well, when it takes 3 years to figure it out, you lose track.
Trust me.
Okay.
It'll be on our project list that we'll report.
Okay. Well, I'm curious, what are they obligated to us? I just can't, you
I
recall?
can't remember off the top of my head.
Another building?
It was, so this is a standard lane project, so they're gonna reimburse us based on actual.
Oh, it's a standard lane.
Yep,
It's not a 420.
correct. Yep.
Amen. Okay. All right, moving on. City Attorney Services number 6. I think everyone has seen a copy. Nick has submitted a resignation. And we also have a proposal. Nick, on behalf of the city, thank you for, you've had some rather tedious tasks in the last 2.5 years dealing with some of the things that have gone on here. So, job well done for that. And wish you well in moving forward. Whatever's on your plate, we wish you well with that. City attorney contract. You're handling that? I mean,
Yes, sir.
I've read it, seen it.
Yes, sir. So, just from my behalf, thank you very much, Nick, for for my short time here. It's a wealth of knowledge. They're going to have a nice data dump that they'll have to pass on to the next attorney. But the 29th of this month will be the final for his services with his firm. And going forward, it kind of brings us to the point of a new contract. So we were kind of under the gun, almost like an emergency situation where within 30 days we would like counsel. And so the city council needs to have an attorney of record to handle certain things. And I reached out to the city of Port St. Joe, and I spoke to the city manager about his current attorney that they have. And he told me how excellent he was and how he handles things for them. The schedule works out very well for the fact that it's opposite weeks of what we offer. For our council meetings, they're 1st and 3rd, we're 2nd and 4th. The stars were kind of aligned to help us get through a kind of a trial situation almost, for an emergency services contract. So Working with them, also I understand the mayor is very happy with what they offered from him with the Port St. Joe, and I did actually personally, I went and met with him, and very straight shooter, very honest. Seemed like he was somebody that was eager to take on more city work. So I had the feeling that he would be great for this purpose. Now with that, I asked him to work on a contract. He works on a flat rate basis, as opposed to billing by the hourly or by the call or the meeting or travel and all that kind of stuff. He bills on a flat rate. This dollar figure is very commensurate with what we can afford for the city of Mexico Beach. It is far cheaper than what we're currently paying, but we've been through a lot in the past with the hurricane and got our money's worth out of what we were getting. So no complaints about that. This has a flat rate fee for us, so it doesn't allow any deviation of a busy month versus a slow month. And that'll be up to the attorney going forward. But I did present a contract that will get us for the next 6 months. So January 1 through June 30th, he would be contracted. It has a 30-day out by either party. If there's some kind of an issue, we could get rid of him right away if we needed to. But Mr. Cahill seems to be very, very competent, and I think I could work very well with him, as well as I think you all will as well. So I recommend to approve his contract for 6 months. And then also, in addition to that, before Nick leaves, I've had him work on an RFP that we could send out prior to the new person starting. So therefore, it's fully transparent. If that person wants to put in a bid for RFP, it's not like he wrote the RFP. So we're handling that. It's a very transparent process for us, which allows us to be on the up and up. The current attorney that we have wrote the RFP. It'll be out to bid prior to him starting. So he's welcome to bid on it just like anybody else. So I think that's very good for us. It allows us to be very transparent and keeps our wheels on our bus turning, to be honest. So I've recommended approval of this contract for the next 6 months. The salary figures are listed inside of there. There's no deviation from that unless he was to go to trial, which we don't have anything scheduled for that. So it would be a flat rate.
Discussion, questions, or motion to accept the 6-month contract with Clinton Cahill.
I make a motion, we accept the 6-month contract for Mr. Cahill.
I'll second.
Have a motion second. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Call?
Yes.
Mr. Key?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to be clear, sir, I think we may need to do a separate vote for the authorizing RFP for city attorney services. That's unless you think that was come out.
That would be helpful, and just so it's clear before you vote, we've been working on this. It's probably complete now. It wasn't ready to circulate, but it is set up so it'll be a flat fee proposal similar to the 6-month contract. So that may limit the amount of people who apply, but that's the way it's set up now. If you prefer it to be more flexible hourly, something like that, we can make that change, but take your direction on it.
I'm for the flat fee.
I'm for the flat fee. So we need to make a motion to
That'd be helpful.
I would appreciate it.
Okay. So the motion needs to say, I make a motion to approve, to authorize the RFP. Okay.
All right, we have a motion to authorize the RFP for city services. Second, and a second. Question? Call the roll.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Call?
Yes.
Mr. Key?
Yes.
Okay.
Before we move on, can I make a couple comments?
Please do.
Earlier, Kathy mentioned Jennifer from my office, Such Jennifer Schuler. She's been working on some code enforcement cases with staff. If you'd like her to continue on those beyond the end of the month, we can arrange that. If the new attorney takes off and is running great, then we can assume those. Either option. I just want to say it's been an honor working with the city for the past 6 years, particularly 2018 when everything changed. I got to see a lot of grit and wisdom from a lot of folks, a lot of friends in the city. Before I made my decision, I did talk to other lawyers in my firm. I did look for some other options that might be someone I'd want to suggest to take over in my role. And unfortunately, I just couldn't find somebody, but the firm still thinks very highly of the city. My partners were really disappointed to hear about the decision. Some of them had hoped that we could have found some way to keep it going, but again, the firm thinks very highly of the city. And thank you for the years of service. That was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, next is I put this on here, just if everyone recalls during the hiring process and interviewing process with our city administrator, we had a salary range of 80 to 100. We offered him a $95,000 position with a 90-day review to bring that to 100, to add that other $5,000. As far as a formal review, it's hard to do a form or something that I thought was appropriate to pass out. I really just think what we've seen is all the review that I needed. I have been, and I've shared this with Doug. This isn't some type of flowery discussion. I've let him know through his time here, and I would assume that he has had feedback from all of us that it is obvious that he has the energy and a direction and a focus and a vision for our little town that suits what we're looking for. So I am proposing, he's completed his 90 days with us, and I'm proposing that we move him up from $95,000 to $100,000.
Here. I agree.
Is there any discussion or anybody? Then I would suggest that we make a motion, someone that we take him to the top level of our HR.
I'll make a motion that we take our new city administrator, Doug, who we're very happy with, to the higher rate that we agreed upon. And thank you, Doug, for your hard work. We really like what you're doing.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Always.
Hell, you get $5,000, I'll wait $4,000.
You like to sit, you're assistant city.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, please. Yes. Thank you.
Ms. Call?
I guess.
Mr. King?
Absolutely. All right. Boy, Doug, you feel that love, don't you? I have to sit next to you. Y'all sit over here.
I tell you what, if you don't mind, if I could just say,
Yeah, come on.
this is the first time I've been publicly reviewed on Facebook Live ever, but it's kind of heart-wrenching in my mind thinking about getting here. And I know what Jerry wanted to say, but he didn't really get it out. But you guys have been amazing. First of all, I'd like to brag on the team that we have in the city of Mexico Beach. You know, when you interviewed me, you said that they needed some support and some love, and the employees needed to be recognized and stuff, and I couldn't agree with you more. I've got 50 new best friends, and that's what I told you I'd get working with these folks. And our employees, we're a small team, but we're fierce, and I say that a lot. Some of the stuff that they figure out how to get done, I can't believe it. Some of the duties that some of our directors and department heads do, you wouldn't imagine that the fire chief would also be doing our phone system. Some things you just don't understand how they go, and the way that Tommy and I don't recognize all of them, but just in general, Tommy makes things go away somehow, and I have no idea. Like the bathrooms at Parker Park, they just went away. So they're just things like that they're able to handle in-house that saves the taxpayers of the city money, and just the heart and passion behind every one of them. I'm proud to be working with them and with you guys, and thanks for the opportunity. I'm honored to be here, and I look forward to a happy and bright career with you guys.
All right, well. Anybody got anything to follow that up with?
I ain't gonna say that. No.
Good.
project list is next, sir.
Project list, let's run through that.
The 8th Street bathrooms we just went over, they're moving forward now. The 15th Street culvert, this is near completion. They finished up the guardrails. They're working on the asphalt along the sides. North Florida's doing a great job finalizing that project. The next thing would be the 15th Street bridge repairs we discussed earlier today. David talked about the bids are going out for the work. This is the bridge around the corner that had some damage to the guardrails and stuff, so we're moving forward with that. The 800 megahertz radio tower, you've probably noticed that going up. I think you can see it from the moon, to be honest. That thing is large. We're working with Duke Power to finalize the easement so they can actually activate it with power. As soon as we finalize the 25 acres, Nick and his team has been working diligently to finalize those 25 acres. And St. Joe, it's hard to push when somebody's giving you something for free, but we really have to finish it because we have projects that are on hold based on closing of that property. So we're moving forward. The goal is to have all that finished before Nick separates with us. So between that and the 80 acres is also under final review from St. Joe. We got their contract this morning. I skipped down a little bit, but the 80 acres is very important to me based on our stormwater projects and going forward to have that in the books. So the contract's being finalized. We're working on closing costs and the survey and a few other minor questions with that, but that is moving forward to get finalized very shortly. So that's my goal with the 80 acres. Additional boat ramp parking, that's still under review. There's funding that we're working on that doesn't open up until next year on boat ramp expansion. The parking, we can discuss that later. I have received a task order from Dewberry about if we wanted to move forward with that. I think we just have to identify some funding to do that for the additional parking. It's kind of up in the air right now with all the construction that's going on in that area, so we'll work with that shortly as soon as we can. Canal dredging we spoke about this morning. Spoil pipe site 2 is underway, and we hope to have some actual dredging going on starting at the first of the year. Citywide stormwater repair. So we received a bid. We had a bid opening. We received one bid, and now Ryan is working with FEMA, with Atkins is working with FEMA to review the money and actually how much money we can get based on that over $5 million bid for all that stormwater repair. So we're pushing forward on that as well. The street paving. So I spoke with Rusty Piggott yesterday. They will be back on December the 20th to finish up on the south side roads where they've already began construction on the other side and get that finished. I've compiled a list of all the roads that are necessary that are high travel roads for the south side of 98, north side of 98, that he's given us a bid on, which includes some various properties and some roads that are in very much disrepair. So I'm working with them on that. So that is moving forward. Hopefully we can get some stuff going after the first of the year on the other side of the street. DOT right away, Tommy spoke about the jetty. Dewberry and MRD are working on design work going forward. That is moving pretty good. The manhole covers was out for bid, and we had a surprising number of responses. I was very surprised how many responses we had that would actually come in and put those seals on those manhole covers around the town, approximately 300 of those. So that's another FEMA project. The marina and boat ramp pavilions. So work stoppage is not a thing for me. We like to stay on top of them. I spoke with James Taunton last night about each one of the projects that he has over there, the 2 in the boat ramp and the 1 over at the pavilion. He assured me, like David talked about this morning, they got the last pole they're going to get in the ground, last pile they're going to get in the ground for the pavilion to keep that project moving. And we were very happy that they didn't have to do any kind of additional demolition or slow down for that job. So that's moving forward. They're pouring the concrete slab for the bathrooms very shortly over on the boat. The plumbing went in and all that's going forward. So there's some real progress happening over there finally. So the concrete walls and stuff up over there, and that is doing well. Parker Park, so we've cleared it. Public Works, we've got plans under review that we had from back prior to the storm that was done. And we're kind of making some adjustments to some of those things to keep that project moving forward. There's not very much FEMA money to cover that project. It's like a fence, some parking bumpers, and the bathroom. But we're working on the relocation of that bathroom in a more, not center focus point. So I'll be bringing that.
Less obvious.
Yeah, that's a good word. Dead center of the park. So we're working on that. The pier we discussed earlier, good news. Police fire station, I got my fingers crossed. We hear something really good on Wednesday. My conversation with Buck with DEM was very positive, that they wanted to cross us off their list and move forward. They've got other things to deal with, so they're ready to move forward. Streetlights, good news. I met with Duke Energy. They were here. There was some misunderstanding about the lights being completed. Duke Energy thought that the lights were put in after the storm and we had all the lights we were going to get and we're paying for them. I assured them that that was wrong, that there is nowhere near the amount of light that we're supposed to have or that we had prior to the storm. They're actually working on a credit, so I asked them for credit. So Danny Collins with Duke Energy is going through a credit. So the last 3 years we've been paying for lights that have been there, non-existent. So they're going to get a plan back to us and an implementation plan to get all those back up, and we'll get a credit back towards our bill. They're very apologetic, and they're looking forward to fixing it for us going forward. So they're going to bring back the plan, and I'll work with them to get that done. But that's in the works. Sunset Park, you saw the construction started. We ordered the POs yesterday. This is another one of those projects. For whatever reason, you guys decided to do, or the city manager or whoever decided that the city would order the properties, the items, the lumber and all that kind of stuff to save on the tax money. So that does slow down the process a little bit. The POs have been processed this week and they're going out so we can keep that project going. But in the future, we will try to avoid some of those type of issues. But that was happening. Under the Palms Park, they're in the design phase. Dewberry's getting back to us on some of those items, and hopefully once that survey is done, we can start moving forward pretty soon. As you all, I'm tired of looking at porta potties. We need public restrooms in the city, and we're pushing hard to have that. The last one is under the water debris removal. So we're still working on some phase one, and it has been submitted. They're reviewing it. We're supposed to get it back. So this is all the debris that's out in the Gulf. That they did the sonar stuff to show where everything was, where the refrigerators were, all the stuff that's out there in the Gulf, and they're going to work on a plan for removal of that to be paid for through the Fish and Wildlife Foundation. So, a lot of great projects, a lot of great consultants helping us with those. We keep on moving forward, sir.
Question on the jetty. Did we come to terms on the extension of the east jetty?
Yeah, whatever it was on our design, we got included, and that's an extension on the east, yeah.
The replacement on the west,
Yeah.
which is in a full, just like what was drawn?
Yeah, it was what was drawn, yeah, that you guys,
Why
I
did
think
we
you,
have part? How did I miss it?
I remember saying it at one point, so.
Do you remember?
It's been kind of pieced in. They've approved a little bit more and a little bit more, and then I think the last meeting that Ryan was talking about, there was a time lapse where we had some. It's $2 million worth of project.
It need to be hollowed. That's a big deal.
I would say, I've been saying for the last month or two that it's now it's an environmental review, but we definitely got it. When we did all the
Isn't that like
DCA work.
$3.5 million?
Two plus.
2 plus, yeah,
Two
it's
plus?
right around 2, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, Kim.
Oh, project, the lovely temporary water line that's strafing across the Charlie Parker Bridge to Canal Park.
So Dewberry.
I mean, I like it. Please don't stop it. I appreciate the water. I'm just curious.
I personally hate it. It looks pretty bad. It looks very bad. We're working with David has worked with the St. Joe company to get that off of there based on their new projects going forward. If you have something to add.
Yeah, our Panama City office works a lot with St. Joe, and they asked them yesterday, and they said they're targeting probably end of January, they should award that contract. I think they're talking with North Florida now about possibly doing the work.
North Florida was out yesterday actually digging that pipe up to find out the specs on the pipe and where it was at. So it's my goal to get it off there before somebody runs into it. So.
We may have to start that form you fill out to speak. All right.
Oh, please. Rock got his hand up.
Rock.
They're meeting you on the form, just let you know.
Hey, Doug, did you mention anything about the 15th Street, the turn, the walkway around the side?
I did not. That's good news. Thank you for reminding me. We were added to the list. I was through the TPO. Mr. Smith sits on that board, and I've added to a subcommittee. So we're trying to get a place at the table with a lot more of these organizations that meet and talk about stuff because we tend to get forgotten around the corner. Mr. Smith's got the map right there, actually. So we had the chair of the council was the chair of the commission. The county commission was here. We met with him and showed him first look at cars around that corner and people walking down the street and it's got some traction now with DOT as well as with Bay County. They'll actually help sponsor us with that project to have continuous sidewalks. So, you know how Dewberry was helping with some appropriations that they helped me with to get turned into the legislature for the state and the House. So that way we could try to get some additional funding that way. We got a lot of traction because we talk about how the sheriff's department follows the school buses every morning, and afternoon, and just safety and security. So I think it's got a lot of good traction. So hopefully we get that going forward. So
we need that.
It made the list.
One more quick thing. You talked about debris in the water being removed. Right, I go down every night to watch sunset at the park, where the parking lot is, where Two Times was. Are they gonna remove the 6 floats out there, whatever they got anchored into the water with?
Those buoys, I believe, are part of what.
Those buoys are part of the jet ski rental thing.
Okay.
That's what those are.
Yeah, they tie up to those and stuff.
FWC requires that. That's a marker for distance from shore. It's required. It's what they, and plus they use those to tie to.
It's a mooring buoy.
They're not going to be removing them.
Nick, do you have anything?
Just to say Merry Christmas to everyone and enjoy every moment you get with your loved ones this month, and it's been an honor.
Appreciate it. You got any more?
I do have some housekeeping just to go over some future meetings.
Go right ahead.
I'll let you do that. Excuse me, the first thing is about the closures. The city hall will be closed on December 23rd, December 24th. That's a Thursday and Friday in observance of the Christmas holidays. We're also going to be closed on Friday, December 31st for the New Year holiday in celebration of those two. So thank you very much for allowing staff to be off for those. The next meeting that we're going to have as a city council, remember there's no meeting, the second meeting in December. We eliminated that at the last meeting. So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on January 11th at 9 a.m. The next P&Z board, just so everybody knows, is going to be held on, due to the holiday that weekend, it's going to be kicked out a week, so it'll be January 10th. If you have anybody that's asking questions about that, January 10th will be the P&Z meeting. We meet at 6 o'clock at night. Reminder about December 17th, the movie night. We're going to have hot dogs and popcorn and candy and drinks. And Jerry's got a restaurant at his house, I believe.
Do you have a permit?
The sheriff he allowed me to waive that permit. So that'll be at Under the Palms Park at 6 o'clock. We're working on some hot chocolate and stuff as well. We're going to show the movie The Elf. What a great movie. If you had a chance to please come hang out down there and drive your cart and hang out, it'd be really nice. Staff will be there helping out with that as well. Good news on the item of the Bay County Leadership Bay County project. City of Mexico Beach was selected as the recipient for the Leadership Bay County project this year. So I worked with them about something to recognize what City of Mexico's been through related to Hurricane Michael. This is going to be in coordination with some funding from the county, as well as funding that the students the people that are in that Leadership Bay County have to raise to do this project. So it's going to be very nice, and it doesn't cost us anything.
Is that Bay County Chamber of Leadership?
Yes, sir.
I used to chair the committee that ran that program. If I can do anything to help or raise or coordinate this.
Thank you very much. I'm excited for that. So we need something to mark a little history here, to give a spotlight on Mexico Beach. Also, just as your calendars, I'll be reaching out to you folks. January 21st is the Bay County Chamber annual dinner. It's at the Edgewater. We have some seats available for council members that would like to go to that, and I'll reach out to you guys individually to see who would like to go. But as I mentioned, I do want to make sure Mexico Beach has a seat at the table. So some of these items would be great to have your support to go do those things with us and just show that we're still over here. And if you don't get something, if you don't ask for something, you don't get it the way I found. So I'm not afraid to ask. So thank you guys for your support again for the review, and that's all I have, sir.
Okay. Council comments? Jerry, you got anything?
I wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. I hope everything goes well for everybody. Santa Claus doesn't forget you.
Jerry, I just want to tell Nick thank you.
Yes.
Jerry, you got anything?
Thank you, Nick.
Bob?
Same thing. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Dick, hope to see you around. Motion